It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the movies of January 10th, 1992, my third birthday. So, we only got 2 movies to look at today, so we'll run through this one real quick. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it, and start with the first movie, the biggest new release of the weekend, and that was Annabella Sciorra and Rebecca De Mornay in the thriller The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
The Bartells couldn't believe how fortunate they were to find Peyton.
I adore children, Mrs. Bartell. I love being with them. I love taking care of them. For me, it's the next best thing to actually being a mother.
But they didn't find her.
She seems terrific. What's the catch?
There is no catch. I think she's great.
She chose them.
Never let an attractive woman take a power position in your home. All I'm saying is you have to watch your back.
Now, their innocence is her opportunity.
He has your eyes, you know.
Do you really think so?
Their trust
Peyton's been great.
Has she?
I don't know what we would have done without her.
is her weapon.
If something happens to my mommy, would you take care of me?
Of course I would.
And their destruction,
There's only one woman for me.
That's all you need.
her triumph.
When your husband makes love to you, it's my face he sees.
Get out of our house.
She's turning on me, Michael, just like you said you would.
Call the police.
Claire, calm down.
You don't know what she's capable of.
Anyone can have an accident.
Michael?
What goes around comes around.
The hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world.
It's my family.
The hand that rocks the cradle.
Okay. I got something to say about this. If you've been following my reviews for the last couple of years, you know that when it comes to females, actresses playing the villains or the antagonists in movies, I've been mostly very critical about them. Not because of the actors themselves, but just because of the way they're written, the way the characters act. You really need to be pitch perfect to play a good villain. It's no matter who you are. But very rarely do I see actresses nowadays really make the antagonist role work as well as they have to be. Like, 2 examples come into mind. Ava Green, who was in 300 Rise of an Empire and Sin City: A Dame to Kill For. I thought she was a good villain in 300, at least in 300 Rise of an Empire. And then Cate Blanchett in Thor Ragnarok. She was great as why can't I remember her name now? Hela from Thor Ragnarok. That's who I was thinking of. It was on the tip of my tongue. I couldn't remember it. But, yeah. Those are just a couple of examples. I know there are other ones that I'm completely missing out on. But, for the most part, they really don't... You really need to have a really good actress to play a good antagonist role and to make it work. Which brings me to the point that I'm about to say here. Rebecca De Mornay just can't make it work. I mean, she's a great actress, don't get me wrong, but she's just trying way too hard to be the antagonist in here. This whole movie is so ridiculously stupid. It's a stupid movie, and I can't believe that people were suckered into seeing this movie. It's the same thing I had with... the same problems I had with Sleeping with the Enemy a year ago. It's a ridiculous movie. This couple hires this woman out of nowhere. They don't do anything. They don't check anything. They don't do anything to see if she's really right for their children. And they're just like, come on in, do whatever you want. By the way, our guns are here. If you ever want, the knives are here. If you ever want to use that to kill us, just go right ahead. That's pretty much the logic of this entire movie. Everybody in this movie is so stupid. They are so stupid in this movie, and it's just like they're not even trying to be clever or threatening or terrifying. This is a terrible movie. I know there are a lot of people that really like this movie. The fact that this was #1 at the box office for 4 freaking weeks is ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, and I can't believe that. Again, people were suckered into seeing this movie. This is not a good movie. This is a movie that could be seen as the Lifetime Movie of the Week or an NBC Movie of the Week. Like when TV movies, like when you had the TV Movie of the Weeks on all the networks, this is pretty much that. There's nothing about this that's screen-worthy, big screen-worthy. And it's just like, there's no twist. The twist isn't that exciting. Rebecca De Mornay is not a good villain in this. Everybody in here acts like an idiot. Nobody is using their brain. And I got nothing. I got nothing else to say. It's a terrible movie. It's a really terrible movie. I hate this movie. I hate this movie so much. And sadly, this was a trend back then, because we not only had this, we not only had Sleeping with the Enemy the year before, but we also have Single White Female coming up this year, which was pretty much the same thing as this movie, which is just let's bring a random stranger into my home, and everything's gonna come up daisies. Everything's gonna come up happy, and we're all gonna be happy together. And it's just like, nope. This movie irks me a lot. I mean, this movie really. I really don't like this movie. It's a shame, too, because there is talent here. I mean, like I said, Rebecca De Mornay is a great actress. Annabelle Shior is a great actress. You have Ernie Hudson in here. One of the writers, the writer for this, Amanda Silver, her and her husband, Rick Jaffa, wrote the Planet of the Apes movies that we had recently. Those were great films. Curtis Hanson is a great director. He did L.A. Confidential. He did 8 Mile. And, yeah, this movie just didn't work for me. It's just... It irks me so much that people were so stupid that they fell for this and made it a hit. And it's ridiculous that this made as much as it did, because when I watched it for the first time, I was expecting something great considering the talent and the people on board here. There's nothing great about this movie. We've seen this story done over and over again, and it's just like everybody bought into it. Really, I have nothing else to say about this movie. It's a bad movie. It's one of the worst movies of '92, and it's one of those movies that I feel like it's going to be something like I have with Baby Driver or The King's Speech, where everybody loves it, and I'm the one person that's just like, you guys don't see how terrible this is? This is a bad movie. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. So, with that said, though, let's get back on a positive note here. Let's go on to the next movie that we have here, the last movie that we have here, and that is Christian Slater in the action comedy Kuffs.
The Patrol Special is a private security force. An elite group of seasoned crime fighters. Everyone a professional. Except this one.
Howdy. Never really saw myself as a cop. I'm more like the bad guys.
Why are we doing so much running? Aren't we all going to be in cars?
I'm looking for a really big gun that holds a lot of bullets.
Move it!
The first time you screw up, you're out of business.
He's a kid.
I'm not a kid. Calm down.
Kid. Where'd you learn to shoot like that?
Never shot a gun before in my life. Maybe this isn't so hard after all.
Wait a minute, everybody!
But we all decided we don't want you as our boss.
We just have to take charge. Yeah, come in, 10-4.
Just checking in, boss.
Surprise the bad guys?
We're gonna die, son! Oh, I scared you, didn't I?
And send your girl flowers.
And what would you like the card to say?
Dear Maya, it was great seeing you the other night. Love and kisses on all your pink parts.
You're under arrest. Lay down on the ground or something.
He's not a patrol special, he's a screw-up.
Got women to do, places to see. Going down.
I'm praying in church.
It's mountain!
Christian Slater.
Hey, the movie's called Kuffs. I'm gonna get out of my bathroom.
And this is where people are going to criticize my taste in films, because after I just thrashed The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, they're going to be very surprised to see that with this movie Kuffs, I laughed. I can't help it. I thought it was actually pretty funny. Like, I know it's not the best written script. I know it's not the best written story and the best written characters, but you know what? They made it work. I mean, I actually was very surprised that I actually went into this came out of this movie and actually ended up really liking it. I thought it was actually pretty funny. And really, it is mostly because Christian Slater does carry this film. I mean, he's the best thing about this movie. He sells this film, and he's very funny. He's very like I said before, he sells the film. And it's funny because I think the reason why I like this movie more is because when I see Christian Slater play this character, for some reason I always think of John Flickster, the Flick Pick. If you ever seen his channel and you ever seen John Flickster's mannerisms and all that, a lot of that is in this movie, and maybe that's why I kind of enjoyed it a lot more than I think a lot of people would. Plus, there are some legitimately funny moments too when they the scene where they blow up the Chief's car. The scene before that, it's what happens before that. It's so ridiculous because Tony Goldwyn's character goes into this abandoned mine this abandoned building, I should say, where they find Kuffs, where Kuffs is like tied up along with the dog, and this bomb is about to go off, and they're just taking their time, and then all of a sudden, as soon as he screams out bomb, they jump through a window and the thing literally explodes. Like, keep in mind that he was still tied up when he said bomb, and then just after that, they somehow managed to get out of there in a matter of seconds, which, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. But what follows after that is one of the funniest scenes in the movie, and it's mostly helped because of Slater and also Tony Goldwyn's performance.
Look at the car. Look at the car. It's on fire. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's on fire. The car is melting. Oh Jesus God. I can't believe this. I know where he's going. It's melting. Let's have a good chuckle about it, man. It's the Chiefs car.
I mean, it's amazing how the laws of physics just completely go away there, because it's like as soon as Tony Goldwyn says it's the Chiefs' car, the car is just like, oh, really? And then blows up again. It's like, how can you not laugh at that? It's hilarious. It's ridiculous, but it's hilarious. And there are many moments in this movie where I laughed pretty hard. I mean, yeah, granted, it's a pretty mediocre buddy cop movie. It shouldn't be that good, but you know what? I laughed pretty hard. Hell, I even found Mila Jovovich, somebody who I am not a big fan of. I actually thought she was pretty good in this movie. And this is actually, I think it said this was her fourth film that she was in. And we also have Ashley Judd in here making her film debut. And we also have Bruce Boxleitner in here, which he's alright. I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine him and Christian Slater being brothers, because there's really a major difference between both of them. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I laughed pretty hard at this movie at times when it really should not have made me laugh as hard as it did, but I had a good time with it. I was pleasantly surprised by it. It's a movie that really took me by surprise, because I really wasn't expecting much when I saw it the first time around, but hey, it was actually a pretty decent film. And I'd say if you go into it with the right mindset, if you go in there knowing that you're not gonna get another Beverly Hills Cop, but you're going to get something, if you want something entertaining, you'll definitely get it here. There is a lot there to really appreciate about this movie. So yeah, there's my taste of films right here. I hate The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, but I like Kuffs. So yeah, there you go. And so on that note, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. Next time we meet, we'll look at the movies of January 17th. We have 3 movies to look at, including Juice, which is Tupac Shakur's film debut. We also have Free Jack with Emilio Estevez, Mick Jagger, Anthony Hopkins, and Rene Russo. And finally, 35 Up, which is the latest installment of Michael Apted's continuing 7-year series where he interviews a group of British-born adults, and they follow them through the next 7 years. We'll get into those movies when we come back here on Sunday. A packed weekend once again here. We're going to have a new Movie Stop episode tomorrow. I'm going to go see the re-release of Jaws. It's my first time seeing it on the big screen, so I'm really looking forward to checking it out. And then after that, I'm going to the Pirates game tomorrow night. The Pirates, if you've been following the Pittsburgh Pirates, they are not a very good baseball team, and I shouldn't even be really that excited for this, but you know what? It's a free ticket. I got a free ticket. PNC Park is a nice park to go to, so I'll definitely get some footage of that. There's also going to be another talking about the movies episode coming up this week, and I think it is going to be the Jaws. I am going to go into the Jaws re-release to see, just to talk about my thoughts watching the movie on the big screen for the first time, and then I have something special coming up this week as well, because next year around this time will be the 10th anniversary of the Reviewing Network website, and I have a list of ideas of stuff that I'm thinking about doing for the next couple of years, because this is going to be a multi-year thing. It's going to be like what Disney does every year. Like, I'm going to talk about it now. You're probably not going to see a whole lot of this stuff right away. There'll be some things that you'll see coming up sooner rather than later, but most of the stuff will carry over into 2023 and to the early part of 2024. So look out for that video coming up in the next week, and then of course Sunday night we'll be back here talking about these movies on Time About the Movies. So, excuse me. With all that said, thank you guys for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please check out the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and I'll see you guys on Sunday for another episode. I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, and until then, take care.